Hello, welcome to another lesson with me, Aruna Donta Bhaktuni. In today's lesson, we will learn a few important things about reading of data. So the first thing we will learn about is how to import a data which is actually in a URL or somewhere on the web. So that is the data that we are trying to read. And I'm going to show you in a minute how to do that. Let's copy the URL there. And you would be using this command of read.table and incorporate that URL and run it. As you can see here that the data has been read, however, the headers are not recognized. So in order for you to recognize the header, you will have to use the command of header is equal to 2. All right, there we go. So now it actually recognizes the headers. In this data, you can see that in column 6, there is an A, which is basically a missing data. However, as you might remember from one of our previous lectures, that R recognizes NA as a missing data. We will now change that A to an NA string. So that's the command for it. Once we execute it, you can see that the A has been replaced by an NA. So now let's assign this to my data. So now that we have created my data, you can extract the values from a particular column by using the $sign and the name of that column header. Here you can see the output. In order for you to do a quick check of the data and to also see where the missing data is, you can use this command of is equal to NA in the concentration column. This gives you an output of or where the objective is met, that there is an NA. However, if you want to do a quick check to verify how many missing data points do you have in your concentration column, you can do this quick command of sum. As we all know that often we are looking at huge data sets. So this is a very easy command for you to use to check how many missing data points do you have in a particular column or the concentration column. Now, let's look at how can you actually import data just by simply copying it and pasting it. So let's just copy the previous data here. Again, as you can get, this is good for if the data set is small enough that you can copy and paste, right? So all you're going to do here is you would say read.table text equal to, and just hit your Control V, and that's your data. And in order for you to read the header, as we had done earlier, you will have to execute the command of header is equal to true. So now let's look at how can we import a CSV file. Very often you would get data in the form of a CSV file like shown here. If the CSV file is in a URL, you can practically do the same as what we had done earlier. The only difference here being that you would say the command here would be read.csv and the location of the file followed by header is equal to 2. So it recognizes the header, and there you go. That's your data. Now you could get data in other formats. For instance, if the data is coming from SAS or SPSS, there is a package called the Haven package, and that is what I'm showing you here. This is where you could go to learn more about that. However, you could also get the data in the form of a Google Sheet. And in order for that, you can go to Google Sheets for package, and that's the website I'm showing you. There you can go to learn more about how to work with data provided in the form of a Google Sheet. So that's it for today's lesson. Thank you for joining us, and I hope this has covered the different types of data that you get. Looking forward to seeing you in our next lesson. Thank you for joining us.